Well, it's Saturday afternoon. You got all your chores done. You've got your favorite rod in your hand. And you've tied on your favorite lure. And you're going fishing. Let's see what we can do. Hi, my name's Jerry. And I'm a twin troller boat owner. You're on the water's edge. Sun is in your eyes. But you're thinking, this might be a spot for a bass. I feel grass on the bottom. I'm dragging it along real slow. Tap, tap, tap. Here we go. There we go. Very first cast. There we go. Woo-wee. It's a whopper. You got them hooked good. Take them off with the pliers. There we go. Well, what do we do with them now? Well, maybe we want to take them home or something. So what do? I got my bucket from the dollar store. If I put some water in there, and I put that fish in there, why heck, I could take them home or something. Maybe even take him just to another pond behind my house. What alternatives do I have to keep this fish alive? Well, let's figure out what choices we have. But in the meantime, we're going to let this guy go. See you later, buddy. There he goes. The Livewell that comes from Freedom Electric Marine that came with the boat when I bought it. It has a plug on the bottom here, so I suppose you can drain it. You would have to lift it out in order to do that, I suppose, or at least if the boat's on the trailer, you can pull the plug in the boat itself, and then it will just drain out. Now, this is set up so that these seats will slide over. Now I don't have this one in this slot. It's sitting on top of the slot, but it'll drop by a 1/4 inch more. But it's designed to go over the top of the Livewell, and the Livewell can be under your seat. You can push it back, open it up, either put fish in there or take fish out if you got bait. There's a little hole at the top, I guess, for venting, or there's a hole in this thing. Well, this comes with this power bubbler. It came as a package deal. It just makes bubbles. I've never used this system yet. One of these days I will. This comes with alligator clips. If I was to use this, I would take these off and put on a 12-volt plug, and I'll show you what I mean. It has a couple of hoses. It's got screws if you want to mount this permanently. It's got air stones in here, and it has filters for the lines. It keeps the water from traveling backwards. They're one-way valves, really. So you would stick this in the boat, on the side, wherever you want to put it. Stick the hoses probably in these holes so that you're not interfered when you're trying to lift this up to get bait. And this holds quite a bit. I'm I'm not sure gallon-wise what it holds, but I'd say that this is at least close to 20 gallons. When you're done for the day and you have either bait left or you've put actually fish in here that you've caught that you want to keep alive, maybe you're going to move them someplace, maybe you just want to keep them alive till you do something with them. What can you do? Well, it would be a little heavy, but you either transport it to wherever you're going, keeping it in the boat. Just keep your lid on so if it sloshes the water, it won't all come out. Or say you wanted to take it even someplace farther, put it in the car and take it someplace. If you lift the whole thing out, you can put it in, say, the car. And if you're running on this, you could have a way in the car, if you connected one of these 12-volt plug and got rid of the clips inside, and you could plug this in while it was in your vehicle and drive it to wherever you wanted to go. So how do you get the water into this container? Here's one way to get this done. It's just a bilge pump, cheap one. On the end of it, I put a plug, 12 volt instead of clips. You get a hose like this. This happens to be clear, you don't have to have clear. Connect it here, either heat this up so it gets a little bit bigger to fit this in, and then install it, put a clamp around it, and then you could leave this. And then on this battery box, I installed a plug connected to the battery so that I could connect this. You can hear it runs. Say, let's assume this is connected. Drop this over the back of the boat. It's now in the water. This is now pumping water from the lake into my live well. Or let's say that you need to get water out of here. You can do the same thing. Stick it in here, plug it in. It's connected to this hose, and now it drains water out. So you can take fresh water from the lake, put it into here, and occasionally you can dump water back out while you're on the water trying to keep your bait alive. I don't know that I'd want this size that I'd need it all the time, and I'm going to show you some other options. Okay, what is this contraption? I've had this for a long time, and I really put large amounts of bait and bass in this. And if you look, it's just a regular bucket. I actually have water in this one. This is called a bait saver. 12 volt DC marine metal products. This motor has a shaft that runs straight down and makes that propeller spin. Now, what's the purpose of that? It draws air from the outside down this shaft and literally emulsifies the water. I'm going to show you. What you don't want is this to fall all the way to the bottom, because in the beginning I did that, didn't realize I needed these things to keep it off the bottom. It starts pushing on this, and then the cage was starting to rock over, and I was afraid I was going to break it. So I took a piece of PVC pipe that's the same size as this. I split it, you can see it here, and I put it on, put this clamp, and this holds it from falling down too far inside the bucket. And the sole purpose of this one, to do the same thing as I did here, you can see how long it's been here. It's been in the water a long time and just wet and got rusted, is it allows me to lift the lid off. Now I put a big rubber grommet around this just so that it wasn't chafing. Not that I had to. And this allows me to lift the bucket with the lid. So my aerator comes up this way, and then when I put it this way, it doesn't fall too far in. Same idea. hear it running. I'm going to try to show you this. That little propeller is spinning, and it really way down in the water, pulling the air down through the shaft, really circulates this water and churns it. But it works really well. And in this case, this has a locking lid, and I can lock it. The grommet kind of gets it so there's some air going in, but allows not too much to slosh out. You can really slosh this around and the water won't come out. What's another way to keep fish alive? You see this? The pump goes to a half-inch thing. It comes up like this. I bought this together, but this is just a plain half-inch pipe fitting. And it comes up to here. Put a cap on it, and this already has the holes in it to spray the water back down. But you could just put a regular cap on it, drill some holes, make it to go like that. Same kind of plug. Plug it into there. And then you either drop this in a bucket or drop it into that same big live well that came with it if you decided that for whatever reason you didn't want to use this. It's just one other possibility. What is this? Well, this is designed to go in the dashboard of a boat, and I had this in a boat that I had previously. I took it out because I sold the boat. I added it in with a system that I was using, and what happens is you turn it, that'll go on all the time. Put it up here, it will go on and off by itself. I don't remember the time frame. And then you connect to these terminals here to do that. That's something you can use if you wanted to use kind of a timer on whatever system you have. This is a bucket that you would see at a bait shop. They sell them all over. Pretty standard thing that they sell because they're cheap. Got a little thing to open this up. It's got little holes for aeration. Take your bait out of there. Well, how do you keep them alive in here though? Well, let me show you. I have another one. And this is a dual air pump double bubble. And this really produces some air. This switch that came with it, I didn't like. I wound up replacing it. I got it on eBay. I don't remember where I got them. They're cheap. Wired that in, and it's also waterproof. And this is ventilation for it. And this, I put a little slot here. So this goes on like this. Now when it's got water in it, it's not so bad, but this is heavy enough with the batteries in here that it tends to tip over a little. So you can either put a strap around it to hold it on so it doesn't fall off. In this case, see these little holes all the way around? We see these two holes. I made them a little bit bigger. I pull the stones off. I stick the hose through here so that and then put this back on so that these hoses go through these holes so I can close the lid whenever I wanted to. Here is a smaller aerator. This is a single tube, and this unscrews. There are batteries inside. Got a little clip you could put on the outside of a bucket of some kind, or even on your belt, whatever you wanted to use it for. But there's a smaller system for doing that. And then you just have to have a stone to put on the end, just like these. Let me just tell you a little something about this one and this one. These have a little history of why I have them. I started out with this one and just decided I wanted some more air. So I wound up going to this. But why is that? Well, when I was guiding, I guided at a place that we had lots of lakes. And we moved from lake to lake and had different boats in each of those lakes. And so I had to just kind of pick up and run and pick up my people that were going to go fishing with me in another lake. And I needed to bring some shiners with me. we always had shiners, we always had artificial baits. We didn't have a great way to move shiners, and I wanted to keep them alive. So I would just go fill this up with shiners, throw it in the car. Used to put this one on first, then I found this one, throw it on, had the bubbles in it, and I could keep shiners all day long in this bucket, even though it's small. I would fill it up with water as much as I could, and we were probably using 5 to 6 inch shiners. We weren't using the big jumbos, and they would stay live all day long. So this bubbler works really well with this. It's just a little top heavy. But if you don't have a lot of space and you really wanted to put some bait in there, this combination works really well. If you liked my video, please right in the corner there, just push that button and subscribe. Or below it, you can push the bell, and that will give you a notice when I get another video out. Or you can leave comments below, or questions, or you can share it with a friend. Thanks for watching. Bye now.